Now that's full colour. 66 and 67, things broke into full colour, and I wonder why. But before then it was black and white, 64 and 65. You can see in this new set of Beatle movies that's just come out, the world was very black and white in 64 and 65. Sure, Gypsy Dave and I, when we hitchhiked away, we went to the beaches of Cornwall and plotted to invade popular culture with the Bohemian Manifesto. It was intended, that was for sure. But these years of 64 and 65, I want you to imagine black and white, very different from now. A band and artists would be on the same bill, all doing two songs. I'm talking about the Kinks, the Who, the Hollies, the Walker Brothers. Do you remember the Walker Brothers? They were making hits. And myself, there would be 5 or 6 artists in one performance, and we all do 2 songs, and all the girls are screaming, so you couldn't hear any songs anyway. There you go. But imagine this. So Gypsy Dave and I, we're going to a summer season, and this was the bill. We're going to play in the Christmas Cake Theatre at the end of Blackpool Pier, and we're going to get down there, so we get on the train. And we get on the train, and down we go to the seaside town, and that bill, in the late afternoon, is going to be me, the Who, the Hollies, the Walker Brothers, the Swingin' Blue Jeans, a comedian, and a ventriloquist. I'm not kidding you. And so we arrive in the seaside town, we go to the B&B, then we go down to the fairground, have fish and chips. We're only 18, we're having fun. Then we get in the taxi, have to go down to the gig. So we're driving down by the coast, and there's the pier. Now the pier is stuffed with 200 screaming 14-year-old girls. There they are again. And the Christmas Cake Theatre at the end. So we look ahead, and there's a taxi, and we notice the Walker Brothers are in the taxi ahead. We are in the taxi behind. So we watch it. And then there's 2 pier policemen, and they're in rubberized coats, and they've got big caps, and the pier name is around the band, but they're pushing a box. The box is about 6 feet square. It's quite a big box on wheels. And all the screaming girls down the pier, and the Christmas Cake Theatre at the bottom, and they push this box up to the Walker Brothers taxi. Gypsy and I, they open the taxi doors, they open the box doors, and they say to the 2 Walker Brothers, "All right, lads, in the box." And in they go. They close the box, and the pier policemen start pushing the box through the girls down to the theatre. And of course the girls are gone to the box, and they're going, like this. So Gypsy and I are laughing. That's great fun. Then Gyp says to me, "We're next." So the taxi pulls up, the boxes come back, the taxi doors are open, the box doors are open, the 2 guys go, "All right, lads, in the box." So here we go, in the box, close the door, get pushed down through the girls, but there's holes cut in the box so we can breathe, and all the little fingers are in the box. So Gypsy and I get pushed all the way through the girls. We get to the theatre, open the door of the box, open the door to the theatre, and we're in. Go to the dressing room. Gypsy lights up a joint. Take a hit. The smoke goes down the corridor to the Hollies' dressing room. Graham Nash told me later, when they were all in their suits, they were so straight. And he told me, and we said to each other in the Hollies, "There's that naughty Donovan and Gypsy Dave smoking that stuff." Because all the pop bands then, they just drank alcohol and ate amphetamine. All that music was so fast. Anyway, with Graham and the other boys, all that would change pretty soon. Anyway, Gypsy and I had our little hit. Then I go on stage, and I start singing my 2 songs, Catch the Wind. And then a drop of water hits my eye. I look up, must be raining, a hole in the roof. And Gypsy looks at me He says, keep singing. And the girls are screaming, and so I continue, catch the wind, and another drop of water. He said, it must really be raining outside. And I continue, and then a real hard jet in this eye makes me look down into the orchestra pit, and there's Roger Daltrey and Keith Moon of the Who with bloody plastic water pistols. I told you, I don't believe this story myself. And then after the ventriloquist and the comedian are finished, the show's over. All the bands disappear. Gypsy says, we'll hang about for a bit. Maybe the girls will disappear. The police have gone, the box is gone, and Gypsy's got a plan. He says, all right, Don, there's a few girls still out there. When I get you the word, we jump outside and run like the blazes down the pier. When we get to the end, you get on the promenade, I'll follow you all the way along the prom to our B&B. Said to Jim, sounds like a good plan. He said, all right, are you ready? I said, yeah. He said, okay. Burst open the doors. Right, foot it. Boom, boom. And he's already told me, as we get closer to the sand, Gypsy's plan is this. We get closer and closer to the sand, he's going to say, right, Don, jump. And the both of us will jump off the pier, onto the sand, and off to the B&B. Sounded like a great plan to me. So off we go, footing it. Boom, 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 boom. There's about maybe 70 girls still there, and they're following us. At one point, Gypsy stops. I said, what are you stopped for? He said, maybe we should let them catch us. I said, Jim, why? He said, there's some pretty girls there. I said, but Jim, some of them have got scissors in their hands. Oh yeah, right, foot it. And we're going boom, 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 boom. The girl's screaming behind us. The sand is getting closer and closer and closer. And then Jim says, right, Don, jump. Poof. It's dark by now, by the way. It's getting really dark. So we hit the sand, and I'm about to get on the promenade. I turn around, and Gypsy's still sitting in the sand. I said, what are you sitting there for? Let's go. He said, I dropped a little bit of hashish. I said, you'll never find it. He said, I will. Go on, you go on. So I jump off the promenade, and I start running. But it's lovely. The sea's coming in. It's dark. The clouds are there, but there's a moon coming through. All the way down the promenade are these little rest places where, when it's too sunny during the day, you sit down. But every now and again, there's a urinal if you want to piss. So I'm running, and I'm feeling good now. And the girls are way behind, and I'm running nicely. And then I realise there's a guy running beside me. At one point, he grabs me into the urinal. He's only a young man, and I'm in the urinal with this stranger, and I fancy a piss, and so does he. So we start pissing against the china, and I turn around and look at him, and it's Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits. And he says to me, I've been running from my gig over town as well. He says, I'll take you to Belly Fury's B&B. He's running from his gig as well. It's like a comedy. In the 65, it's a black and white comedy. A Norman Wisdom film, actually. And then we arrive at B&B, and it's Billy Fury's B&B. And he's sitting down in a pink jacket, lime green trousers, and blue suede shoes. He's a rock and roll singer, and he's sitting, and a little old lady's pouring him a cup of tea. So we sit down, and then Peter Newman gets a cup of tea, Donovan gets a cup of tea. This is real rock and roll in 1965. And then Gypsy walks in. I said, how do you know I was here? He said, I'll have my waist on. He sits down, then Gypsy gets a cup of tea. And at one point, he leans over to me, and he says, I found a little bit of hash. As the strange adventures of Gypsy Dave and Donovan. But soon, a couple of years later, that Gypsy Dave and me, John, Paul and George and Ringo, headed out for India to see if that meditation was really right, true, that it can change the way of the future generations if they dive in deep within. While I was in India, I finished this song called the Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Thrown like a star in my vast sleep, I opened my eyes to take a peek, to find that I was by the sea, gazing with tranquility. 'Tis then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing the song of love. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Histories of ages past, unenlightened, the shadows cast down through all eternity, the crying of humanity. 'Tis then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing the songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing the songs of love. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. While in India, George wrote a verse. It goes like this. When truth gets buried deep beneath 1,000 years of sleep, time demands a turnaround, and once again the truth is found. Yeah, George. Awakening the hurdy-gurdy man who comes singing the songs of love. Here comes the hurdy-gurdy man, and he's singing the songs of love. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 hurdy-gurdy. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 son. The Beatles are hurdy-gurdy men, they come singing the songs of love. Marishi's a hurdy-gurdy man, come singing the songs of love. I am the hurdy-gurdy man, I come singing the songs of love.